watched The Big Bang Theory? Yeah, sweet. I can maybe see your hair. We go. There you go. That's sweet. Yeah, great show. I love Sheldon trying to figure out formula for friendship, and I think maybe at some point in our lives we've all been there. I was like, man, how do I have friends? How do I make friends and new friends? And contrary to what Sheldon is all about, there's not necessarily a flow chart to or some scientific formula to making friends or to having lasting friendships. There's not this little thing you follow. So well, they answer yes, and I do this. We answer no. It's not quite that way. There are some elements to it. There are some things that we can look at to figure out this thing of friendship, a lasting friends. But what is a friend? Friends. When you don't bring a lunch, friends there to share it with you, right? The friends there. If that guy breaks up with you, right? That girl's. Your girlfriends are tweeting about it too, and they got your back, and they're subtweeting, right? And we know you're not talking about anybody because we could never talk to anybody about them directly, so we'll subtweet about them. Something like you play the game long enough, the game will play you or something like that, and make up some weird stuff, or maybe Instagram about it. And so this is what this is what friends do. They got your back, right? Or if you're in trouble with your parents, right? Your friends got your back. It's like Chris's mom. He didn't mean to run over that sign with his car. I don't know why anybody would put a sign in the parking lot, and I don't know why anybody would do that. But it's not his fault. It was whoever put that sign there's fault. If you don't know, I hit a sign in the parking lot back there in the summer, and that's why we don't have a. Oh, I ran over it. I killed it. It was done. Yeah, I know. Hey, I don't need to relive it. Yeah, but once I hit it, you had to go all the way through. It's like, you can't. I don't do it halfway. But the friends got your back, right? These are people that you're with through thick and thin, right? This is how we see our friends, and we all want good friendships. We all want to have friends that stick close to us, friends that we can go to. But here's the deal: if you're going to have good friends, you've got to be a good friend. You've got to be a good friend. It's not enough just to say, hey, I want friends, but hey, friendship takes effort. It takes work. And it's not always going to be easy. It's not always, it's like any relationship. It's not always going to be easy. There's going to be effort that's got to be put forward. But to attract good friends and to have good friendships, you have got to be a good friend. One of the examples in the Bible that we see of a good friend is Jonathan and David. And we all know David, right? King David. Big dude, warrior, king, great guy. Well, his best friend was Jonathan. Jonathan was the king before David. He was Saul's son. And in 1 Samuel 18, it says this about Jonathan and David. It says, as soon as he had finished speaking to Saul, telling David, the soul of Jonathan was knit to the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. And so we see this connection between David and Jonathan. It says they were knit together. I mean, there was a connection there. They were close together. This friendship carried throughout their life. Even when David would become king over Jonathan, that didn't affect them. They were knit together. There's this connection when you have a good friendship. When you have your best friend, your BFF, your bestie, your biffle, whatever you want to call them. When you got this connection, right? There is this heart connection. And what is it that ultimately connects us to these good friendships? Ultimately, it's our character. Ultimately, it's who we are on the inside. It's what drew David and Saul together. David and Jonathan together. One, they had a similarity because they were both mighty warriors. David, obviously, he just got off of killing Goliath here. He had just slayed Goliath right before this. Well, Jonathan, if you don't know, Jonathan and his armor bearer went and killed 20 of the Philistine soldiers themselves. And so they're both these mighty, courageous warriors. So they got something in common there. But there's this character in them which kept them together, which kept them close, and they were faithful men of God. They were faithful men of God, and there was nothing that could come between them. Even when you would expect there to be instances where their friendship may be broken. When David took the throne, that didn't happen. But they shared similar character qualities. Maybe you think about it like this. If you think about friendship, maybe think about it as a garden. And if you're growing a plant or vegetables or whatever it may be, you've got to have certain elements, right, to make those things grow, to make those plants grow. Now, listen, if you ever went to my house growing up, man, our house was plant killer. You know, that was death row for plants. They weren't making it out. You know, when we went and bought them to the store, when we went to the store and bought these plants, they saw my mom buying plants. They're like, no, you don't need to buy that many. You don't need to buy that many because they're all going to die anyways, you know. And so, but you got to have certain things to make plants grow. You got to have certain elements, right? You got to have what? Sunshine. You got to have good sunlight coming in. You got to have good soil. You got to have water. It's got to be watered right. You got to have some good. If you're going to keep it inside, you make sure you have good airflow. So it's getting the oxygen it needs, and so it's getting all its nutrients. And so you got to have certain things. Whereby if you don't have those certain things, what are the plants going to do? They're going to die, right? If you ever had plants and you've ever seen them die, you don't water them just enough, they begin to shrink up and they begin to fall up and die. You don't give them proper sunlight, they're going to die. And the same way with friendship. You know, if we don't have certain elements in a friendship, it will go bad, and it will go. It could eventually be killed. And here's the question: are you a friendship killer? When you begin to look at your life, are you a friendship killer or are you a friendship grower? Do the things in your life, the character of your life, is it something that is is it somewhere where friendship is cultivated? Your personality, your character traits. Is it somewhere where friendship is cultivated? Let's talk about friendship killers. What kills a friendship? And there's several different things that can kill a friendship, and all of it really comes out of this first one, and it's called conditional love. You want to kill a friendship? You make a friendship all about you. You make it all about you. What a conditional love says, it says, as long as I'm getting getting something out of it, as long as you're taking care of me in some way, maybe it's boosting my popularity, maybe you've been buying me things, maybe it's making me look cool, maybe helping me with something else. As long as I'm getting something out of it, then I'm sticking with this. Then I'm good with this. But as soon as I'm done with you, as soon as I've gotten what I want out of you, then kick it to the curb. And conditional love is all about me. You know, it's all about what can you do for me. And a friendship that's based on what can you do for me will be dead in no time. It won't last. It will not last. I had a friend in high school who dated this girl, and he quickly realized he really didn't like her that much, but because she was buying him stuff, he stayed with her. He stayed with her. And it's like, that, obviously when that came out, that relationship was not going to last. Because why? Because it was based on conditional love. Now I know you girls are getting upset about that, but let's focus in here. I know that was back like 10, 15 years ago. So but he was all conditional love. I mean, that's all it was about. That relationship was not going to last. What are some of the things that come out of conditional love? What are some of the things that come out of saying, what can you do for me? It's all about me. Some of the things that come out of that, some of the qualities, some of the character traits are jealousy. Right after this, in 1 Samuel verses 5 through 8, 18, 5 through 8. Go to the next slide, Caleb, or next verse there. Since David was, no, next one, go to the next one. Okay. It says, Jonathan made a covenant with David because he loved him as his own. Keep going. There we go. Okay, and David went out and was successful wherever Saul sent him. So Saul sent David out to take over. And it says, so Saul set him over the men of war, and this was good in the sight of all people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. Next verse continues on. It says, and David went out and was successful wherever Saul sent him. Wait, that's the same thing. I thought we were the same thing. Okay, go next. Okay, and as they were coming home, when David returned from striking down the Philistine, the women came out of all the cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tambourines and songs of joy and with musical instruments. And the women sang to one another. They celebrated. As they celebrated, Saul had struck down thousands, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very angry, and this saying displeased him. He said, they have ascribed to David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed thousands. And what more can he have but the kingdom? Saul was a jealous man. And he heard this. Saul had been this king. He was decorated, a decorated soldier. He had done many great things. But when David began to get the credit and the praise and the glory for his accomplishments, they were singing higher praises for him than Saul, and that angered him. He was jealous. And from then on, what Saul's mission was to kill David. See, jealousy will drive you to do some horrible things. It'll drive you to some awful thoughts. James chapter 3, verses 14 through 16, says this. It says, "But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast and be false to the truth. This is not the wisdom that comes down from above, but is earthly, unspiritual, demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder in every vile practice." And so what we see there is we see jealousy. What's it say comes with jealousy? Selfish ambition. What comes with it? Deceit. What comes with it? Evil thoughts, evil actions. This is what jealousy drives us to. If you want to kill a friendship, you let jealousy come in. You see, what Saul did, instead of celebrating the success that David was having, Saul was mad. He was vindictive about it. But Jonathan was celebrated. And see, success in a friendship should not come between friends, but it should be celebrated. You know, when Jonathan had the right to say, "Man, that position as king should be mine," he had every right to be mad. But instead of being vindictive about it, being bitter about it, he said, "No, I'm celebrating your success. I'm celebrating your success." You want to kill a friendship, you be jealous of somebody else's success. You be jealous of maybe what they have, or maybe the guy or the girl they're dating, or you be jealous of the accomplishment. That will kill a friendship. Success should be celebrated amongst friends. It should not tear apart. You want to kill friendships, be jealous. Thirdly, suspicion. 1 Samuel 18:9 says this. It says, "Saul eyed David from that day on." After all this song was being sang, Saul kept his eye on David. He was suspicious of David, thinking, David's going to overthrow me. David's going to do all this against me. He's coming for my position. And so this drove Saul crazy. This led him to want to hurt David, to want to kill David. He was suspicious of him. Suspicion will kill a friendship. Thinking, well, are they purposely leaving me out of something? Are they talking about me behind my back? Are they lying to me about something? You know, if you're suspicious of them, doubting a friendship, being suspicious of them will kill a friendship, because it takes away trust in a friendship. It takes away a bond that you have with that friend. So you allow jealousy to come in, it'll kill a friendship. You allow suspicion to come in and doubt to come in, it will kill a friendship. You allow greed to come in. Proverbs 28:25 says this. It says, "A greedy man stirs up strife, but the one who trusts in the Lord will be enriched." A greedy man brings up conflict. You're greedy. You want what you can't have. You want more and more and more, and it doesn't matter who it takes away from. A greedy man will bring conflict. A greedy woman will bring conflict to a friendship, and it will tear a friendship down, because greed says it doesn't matter what you want. It's all about what I want, whether that's money, whether that's possessions, whether that's a position, whatever it is. Greed will tear a friendship apart. It's all selfishness. Not only will greed do this, but gossip will. Maybe you've been affected by this one as much as any of them. But Proverbs 16:28 says this. It says, "A dishonest man spreads strife, and a whisperer separates close friends." Man, gossip will kill a friendship. So-and-so said this about me. So-and-so, that's what, instead of a friend squashing that rumor, squashing something that was bad that's being said, even if it's true, instead of squashing a friend, somebody who's supposed to be a friend added to the fire, added to the rumor, and helping to get around, that will kill a friendship, not to mention kill a reputation. When you should be protecting that friend, we should be taking care of that friend, but instead you're helping spread the gossip, or spread the lie, or your words are harming your friend, that will kill a friendship. And if you're wondering why you don't have friends, maybe we should look at some, are you struggling with some friendships, or you have always having drama, or always having these certain things come up in friendship, maybe there's some of these things that we need to check out. Is there jealousy in that friendship? Is there suspicion in that friendship? Is there greed in that friendship? Is there gossip happening in that friendship? These things are friendship killers. It's like taking the oxygen out of a room for a plant. It will kill it. It's like taking a plant out of rich, good soil and taking its roots out and leaving it to die. And it's like not putting it in a dark place, not giving some. This stuff will suck the life out of a friendship eventually till it dies. Are you experiencing this in your own life with friendships? Are you experiencing this? To attract good friends, you've got to be a good friend. So what are some friendship growers? What are some things that will build up friendships? What are some things that will build them up? One is unconditional love. What we just read, the example Jesus gave says, greater love has no man than this, that he lays down his life for his friend. And this is the example that Jesus gave us, because he did that very same thing, right? He laid down his life for us. And what unconditional love says, it says it's not so much about what I want, but it's about this friendship. It's about seeing you succeed as much as seeing me succeed. It's more so about seeing this person be sharpened through life, be encouraged through life, find success in life, more so than it is about what I get out of it. Unconditional love looks past sins. It looks past mistakes. It looks past these different things in order of seeing the greater picture. And that friendship is meant to lift up, to encourage, to build. It's not meant to tear down. In 1 Peter 4:8 says this. He says this about love. Speaking of unconditional love, he says, above all, keep loving one another earnestly. It says love covers a multitude of sins. Unconditional love, it covers those mistakes. Because unconditional love sees those mistakes, and instead of getting frustrated and bitter, which you may have a right to do, instead of getting upset about it, and there's a right place for that, instead of letting that harbor in your heart, unconditional love says, yeah, you made a mistake, but I forgive you. Yeah, maybe things haven't gone quite the way that I was hoping they would or thinking they would, but I'm looking past that and beyond that. It's not about you. It's about the friendship. It's about that other person. Keep loving one another earnestly. Keep looking out for the best interest of others. Because love covers a multitude of sins. Love covers up hurts. It covers up heartache. It covers up tragedy. It covers up difficulty. This is what true love is all about. Unconditional love is all about. Is it looks past and it looks beyond the mistakes and sees the good. It sees what could be, and this is what Jesus did for us. Greater love has no man than this. And he lays down his life for his friends. And this is exactly what Jesus did at dying for the cross. He did not see the sin and the mistakes as a hindrance, but he saw the sins as something that could be overcome for something greater. And what was that greatness? One is for the glory of God, but two is it was for our good, for eternal life for us. This is the example God gives us, and Christ Jesus gave us in dying for us. And the ultimate example of friendship and of true love. Unconditional love will grow a friendship. It will bring vibrant life to a friendship. What comes out of unconditional love? Loyalty. Proverbs 20 verse 6 says this. It says, many a man proclaims his own steadfast love, but a faithful man who can find? Many people claim to be faithful, but somebody who's truly faithful and truly loyal, man, that's tough to find. That's hard to find, but man, that will bring, when you have unconditional love, when you have, you're seeking the better of somebody else, you will be faithful to them and loyal to them. Just as Jesus was faithful to his death on the cross for us, just as he was faithful to love us. When you truly love someone, you're truly about them, your loyalty to them will be beyond just what they give to you. It'll be beyond just the good things, but you'll stick closer to them. I think back to my friend Kyle, who I think I talked about last week, when I was going through a very difficult time as a junior, being made fun of, dealing with acting, struggling with with friendships, my identity, and all those things. Kyle could have very well left, like many friends, like many guys and many friends did, and he could have said, "Man, I'm not going to really hang out with them because my reputation is not going to be the best." But Kyle stuck with me. He was loyal to a friendship that we had carried since 6th grade. He was loyal to that. It wasn't about what his reputation was about. It wasn't about his popularity. It was seeing beyond the flaws. It was seeing beyond what other people saw and seeing the good that could come out, seeing the best for me over what was best for him. That was unconditional love. That was loyalty and faithfulness to a friendship, which you could have left if you wanted to, because it didn't put him in the best light to hang out with somebody who maybe didn't have it all together and who maybe wasn't the most flawless looking person. He could have left, but he stayed right there with me. Loyalty. That will grow a friendship. You want somebody who's going to stick closer than a brother, you be faithful to them, and they will be faithful right back to you. Not only that, but encouragement. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 says this. It says, two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and he has not another to lift him up. Friendship is all about encouragement. It's about picking up one another. It's about pushing one another along. When one falls, It's helping carry the burden for them and striving them towards what Christ has called them to, what God is making them to be and making them into. The other one's there to lift them up, to encourage them, to pray for them, to help them out. Yeah, better is two than one. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. One will be encouraged by the other. To not give up, but to keep pushing on. Encouragement. You want to grow a friendship, you encourage one another. You pick one another up. You lift one another up. You pray for one another. This will grow a friendship. You want good friends, you need to be an encourager to them. Doesn't mean you're not necessarily flashy with them, but you were there through thick and thin. You were there speaking into their life, lifting them up, uplifting them, praying for them, encouraging them. This will grow a friendship. This will be oxygen, fresh oxygen for that plant. It'll be that fresh soil for that plant. Not only that, but you need to be honest. You need to be honest with one another. This is what Proverbs 27 says. It says, Proverbs 27, verse 5 and 6, better is open rebuke than hidden love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Profuse are the kisses of an enemy. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. You need a friend who will tell you like it is. You need a friend who will tell you you're being a butthead sometimes. That's okay. In love, obviously, they're saying, hey, I love you, but you're a butthead. That's okay, as long as they say in love, right? So, yeah, but you need somebody, you need friends like that. You don't need someone who's just gonna kiss up to you because, oh, everything's okay, you know, everything. I mean, if there was something in your teeth, ladies, if there was something in your teeth, would you want a friend? Here you go. Is there something in my teeth? Would you want them to go, oh no, it looks great. It looks wonderful. It's perfect. You don't have anything there. And you got this big piece of lettuce like sticking out right there. And then the guy you like comes up and then he never talks to you again because you have this big piece of lettuce and he thinks you're a slob or something because you didn't pick out the lettuce in your teeth. Would you want a friend saying, oh no, you look great. I know you got like all this junk in your teeth right now from what you ate, but no, you look great. No, you want them to say, hey, there's a little something right there. You know, discreetly, obviously. You don't want anybody pointing it out, right? Like big time. Obviously, say, hey, just want to let you know there's something not quite. You know, you help you out. You need a friend who's going to be honest with you. Like you need somebody who's going to say, hey, I know you're mad about this. I know there's some stuff going on, but let me just be honest with you about something. Let me just give you my thoughts on it. And yeah, maybe sometimes that may make somebody mad to come to them in love and to kind of point out something that maybe they're struggling with or they're not seeing. But better are wounds from a friend than the kisses of an enemy, because a friend is telling you that because they love you. A friend is telling you that because they want the best for you. They may see something that you don't see, but they want you to become a better person. And so they tell you, say, hey, this is kind of going on. I just want to make sure you know about this. And so they tell you, with all honesty and with love, hey, because I love you, because I want the best for you, you need to know this. That this isn't quite adding up. This isn't quite right. There's something in your teeth, and let's make sure we get that out because I want the best for you. I want the best for you. So you need honesty in your friendship. You need that. That will grow a friendship. They may not like it at the time, but I'm telling you, they will appreciate honesty in a relationship. You don't need to hold on to bitterness. You don't need to hold on to something if they make you mad, and you hold on to the bitterness of, well, they made me mad, but I don't want to say anything about why they made me mad or how they made me mad. I'm going to hold on to it instead of communicating with them. You need honesty to be able to take them to the side and say, hey, this is where this hurt me. I don't know if you know this or not, but this hurt me. And I just need you to know that this kind of upset me. And I want to talk through this or work through this, and I just want you to know. I just need to let you know that though. You need that kind of honesty, because if you don't have that honesty eventually will that bitterness and that lack of communication will suck the oxygen out of the room, and it will kill that plant. You'll put that plant in a dark alley or a dark room, and it will not have the sunlight it needs to grow if you're not honest with one another, honest in love with one another about what's going on or about what you may see that they don't see. You need that honesty. That will grow a friendship. That will make it vibrant and beautiful. Listen, growing is not easy. Growing is not an easy thing. I mean, you've been through, you guys have been growing up, right? And it's not always easy. You know, you get to a certain stage in life and you're kind of goofy and uncoordinated and falling over. It hurts sometimes to grow up. It hurts sometimes. But ultimately, it's all for the best, because you're where you're at now. You're never going to stop growing, hopefully. You're not always going to be that goofy, can't walk Carly and tripping over my feet because they're too big for my body type thing going on. We don't need point fingers. We're just saying, you know. But growth isn't always easy. But it's important that, you know, the struggles that we may go through in growing up are important because they make us who we are in the future and make us who God wants us to be. Honesty is not always easy, but it's important because it helps us to be who God has called us to be and who God has called that other person to be. Are you a friendship killer? Are you a friendship grower? Last thing with friendship growers is that they carry one another's burdens. Friends carry one another's burdens. The Indians, Native Americans, they say, yeah, Native Americans are, right? When they come with the names, it's not like it's Jim or Bill, but it's like Sitting Bull, right? You know, Josh would be like Man Who Beats on Drums or something like that, or, you know, Abercrombie Man or something they call him, I don't know. But they don't just call it like Jim or Bill or Susie or anything like that. And the word for friendship is not, the word for friend is not just friend, but it's one who carries my sorrows on his back. That's how they describe friends. One who carries my sorrows on his back. And this is the picture of a friend, is that a friend comes alongside and whatever tragedy is struck, whatever difficult times are coming along, a friend comes and they carry that sorrow on his back. Just as Jesus carried our sorrows on his back. You know, Jesus came and he saw our sin. We're carrying this burden on us. And it's called sin. It's weighing us down. And Jesus has seen this, and he models what friendship looks like in carrying our burdens. He models this for us, and he says, I see the sin, I see the things that are weighing you down. Instead of letting you go through life carrying this by yourself and just being run down and worn down, I'm going to pick this burden up for you. I'm going to take this burden for you. And Jesus took it, he put it on himself, and he took the punishment for those burdens, for those sins, for us. Greater love has no man than this, they lay down his life for his friend. This is what Jesus did. Carry one another's burdens. This is what Jesus did. And so he models this example. We see friends who are struggling with something. They have issues at home that they're dealing with. They're having a tough time in school. There's been a tragedy that struck their lives. And instead of leaving them and walking away, we become as one who carries their sorrows on our back. We pick up the burdens and we walk with them. You want to grow a friendship, you walk with somebody through tragedy and through adversity. You grow a friendship. A brother is born of adversity, is what the Proverbs tell us as well. You will grow a friendship when you walk through somebody through a battle in life. This is what friends do, is we carry one another's burdens. Just as Jesus has ultimately carried all of our burdens, we carry one another's burdens. To attract good friends, you must be a good friend. Are you a friendship killer? Are you a friendship grower? What are the characteristics in your life? What characteristics are showing up in your life? Are you full of jealousy? Or are you full of loyalty and faithfulness? Are you full of suspicion and greed? Or are you full of unconditional love and honesty? What characteristics are showing up in your life? Because whatever characteristics are showing up, I can venture to guess what kind of friendships you may have. Are you a friend killer or a friend grower? Let's go to the Father.